Space, welcome back. We are here for week 2 of our series, Help. We are learning more about Moses. So, I just have a few questions for you. Have you ever needed help? Who are some people that you ask for help? We talked about this last week, but who do you call for help? Okay, let's see. We're gonna do like a little game. So, have you ever seen like Family Feud or like done one of those like games kind of like that where you have to like guess the answer? Okay, so through a bunch of people put together a bunch of things, and the most popular answer will be the one that I will say. So if you can guess who the most popular answer is to this question, then you get a point, and you get to mark yourself a point on your hand, on your left hand. Okay, here's the question. Who helps you when you are hurt and you need to go to the hospital? Who do you think it is? If you yelled an ambulance, that is the highest, or maybe a doctor or something like that, or a paramedic. If you yelled that, you get 30 points. High five. Maybe you thought a parent or a policeman, you get 10 points. Good job. So you can, if you want to maybe do this with a friend or a parent, you can write down how many points you have. Okay, here we go. I for sure need help from the ambulance. Okay, who helps you when you need wisdom? Who's there to help you when you need wisdom? You can shout it out. Who do you think is the highest, the most said person? If you said Jesus, you got 30 points. If you said a parent, you get 20 points. And if you said a teacher, you also get 20 points because I switched the points. Okay, who helps you when you leave the toast in the toaster too long and the smoke detector goes off? Well, I'll give you a little hint from my broken hat here. A firefighter, that's right. That was the person who had the most, who's the highest said, that everyone said, like, that's who I would call. A firefighter, so that's 30 points. If you said police or a parent, you get 20 points. Okay, who helps you when the waves are too big at a beach? I recently went to Halifax, and it was super cool, and I got hit by the waves so many times because we were in the ocean. It was like, and they were bigger than me. They're quite crazy. If you said a lifeguard, you get 30 points. Good job. If you said a parent or police, you get 20 points. High five yourself. You were doing so smart at this. Okay, who helps you when someone steals your backpack and runs away? That's very unfortunate. Who would help you with that? If you said the police, you get another 30 points. If you said a parent or adult, you get 20. Who helps you when you're lost? Who helps you when you're lost? If you said Jesus, Jesus helps us when we're lost in life. Maybe not when he can help us when we're lost at a store to give us peace. So that's 30 points. But if you said a security guard, that's another 20 points because sometimes we need help to find our parents. Okay, we are getting back into our Bible story. Last week, what did we talk about? We talked about baby Moses, little baby Moses, who needed help because the Pharaoh wanted to get rid of all the baby boys in the land because he did not like the people. So, we remember what happened to baby Moses. He was born to the Israelite home, but he was raised by Pharaoh's daughter as her own son. So God helped him by giving him a family and safe place to be raised. Okay, fast forward. Can you fast forward with me? Fast forward a few years, Moses. So every time I say Moses, I want you to give me the little baby. Can you do that with me? We got Moses, little baby. So, fast forward a few years, Moses grew up in Pharaoh's home. Now, I think last week we did Pharaoh. So, grew up in Pharaoh's home. He probably had everything he could have ever wanted, but one day he made a big mistake after getting into a fight with an Egyptian man. Ooh. Have you ever made a mistake? I've made a mistake. Moses was afraid someone would find out about it, so he ran away. He ran as far as he could. Can you run with me? We're running. He ran as far as he could and began a new life. He got married. And he had a son, and everything was peaceful. But God rescued baby Moses from the river for a reason. It was all part of God's plan. And God was about to tell Moses about those plans. So one day, Moses was with his sheep. Can you tell me what the sound of a sheep is? Good job. It goes, bah. Maybe not as exciting as that, but they go, bah. So Moses was with his sheep when he saw something that caught his attention. He saw a bush on fire. A bush on fire. But the bush didn't burn up. So it was just like, maybe this summer you went camping and you like burned some like logs at the campfire. They eventually like go away, right? Like you don't see the logs anymore. But this bush, it was right there. It was on fire, but it didn't get lower. It just stayed the way it did. So we're going to read Exodus 3:4-6. If you have your Bible, feel free to grab that. 3:4-6, and it says, when the Lord saw Moses coming to take a closer look, God called to him from the middle of the bush, Moses, Moses, here, Moses, Moses. Here I am, Moses replied. You do the little baby action. Do not come any closer, the Lord warned. Take off your sandals, for you are standing on holy ground. I am the God of your father, the God of Abram, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. When Moses heard this, he covered his face because he was afraid to look at God. Man, okay, did you hear that? God was talking to Moses through the bush. That is kind of crazy, and something I think only God could ever do. So what did God tell him? Do you remember? He told him that he was on holy ground. Okay, now we're going to go a little more into the story. 6:10 or 4:10 is where we're at. 3:10 is where we're at. And it says, now go, for I am sending you to Pharaoh. You must lead my people, Israel, out of Egypt. What? But Moses protested God. Who am I to appear before Pharaoh? Who am I to lead the people of Israel out of Egypt? God answered, I will be with you. He said that. I will be with you. And this is your sign that I am the one who has sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you will worship God at this very mountain. So he's at a mountain. That's pretty cool. But Moses protested, if I go to the people of Israel and tell them, the God of your ancestors has sent me to you, they will ask me, what is his name? Then what should I tell them? Well, God replied to Moses, and this is what he said. This is like a pretty crazy thing. I am who I am. Say this to Israel, I am has sent me to you. God also said to Moses, say this to the people of Israel, Yahweh, the God of your ancestors, the God of Abram, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has sent me to you. This is my eternal name, my name to remember for all generations. Now go and call together the elders of Israel and tell them, the Lord, the God of your ancestors, the God of Abram and Isaac and Jacob, has appeared to me. He told me, I have been watching closely and I see how Egyptians are treating you. So he saw what was happening. So what was Moses' reaction? Does he sound happy and ready to go? No, he was like, I don't think so. Like, why me? He kept asking, why me? He wasn't jumping up and down saying, yes, this is what I've always wanted to do. He was very hesitant to go back. So it sounds like he didn't want to go at all, and like he didn't think he was the right person to go. So later on in the story, Moses asked God to send someone else instead of him. He described himself as slow to speak, and maybe he had a stutter, or maybe he just thought he wasn't smart enough. So this is kind of interesting because like this is the first person in the Bible, at least that I noticed, that had a weakness that was more of like something they couldn't really control. So a stutter is, I actually, like, when I was growing up, I had a stutter, and sometimes I still do. I have really hard times with the word R, and yeah, so Moses, like, he didn't think that he'd be able to be used because he was supposed to be talking, and sometimes talking is hard, and sometimes we have things in our lives that we can't control, but God can still use us. Even the things that we might think are a weakness, God can still use us. So he thought that he he just wasn't the person for the job. But God allowed Moses' brother Aaron to go with Moses and to speak for him. So he was helping Moses do what God told him to do. But God also sent Moses with a staff, which helped him he held it up. There was a whole thing. I believe we're getting into it next week. But that is the story for today. We are talking about how God helps us. And God helps us in our weaknesses. Oh, that's a big idea. Already, we're going to do God helps us in our weaknesses. So when we feel weak, he is strong and he is with us. And he does not leave us. Because even though we might think me going to talk to this kid at the playground or helping a friend, I don't have all the qualifications for that. But God gives us the strength and the confidence to do things that he's called us to do. Okay, now before we go hang out with our friends Callie and Carl, let's do our memory verse. Our memory verse is from Psalms 121. And it says, oh my goodness, I'm forgetting it. Do you guys remember what it is? It's from Psalms 121. I think it's verse 7. It says, "Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth." So where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. Wow. We know that God helps us and that he is with us. And we are learning all about that today. And I hope as you start school, as you get into all these exciting things for this year, and as maybe there's some anxieties, some sadness, some things that might be weighing on you, that you just know that God is with you and that he helps you in every part of your life. Okay, friends, I had a great time today and I can't wait to hang out with you next week. Have the best week. Let me pray first, and then we'll go hang out with our friends. Lord God, thank you so much for today. Thank you that we are not alone and that we have you and that you love us and that you're with us. And will you just bless each person's week, and will they just feel your strength and your confidence in them. In your holy mighty name, amen. All right, friends, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Well, hey there, little chicken nuggets. It's me, Fitness Carl. And get ready, because today we're not only going to stretch out our minds, but our muscles.
Welcome to Grow TV, hosted by Carl, where we have fun with our friends, talk about Jesus, and go over everything the Bible has to offer. Now, once again, welcome to Grow TV.
Hey everybody, so excited to hang out with you little chicken nuggets today. We're doing something extra special. I'm going to show you some of my favorite exercises that have led me to having this Olympic figure. I'm strong. So let's stand up and get moving. First is the Samsonite. We're going to pull in those pillars and crush those Philistines. Short hair? Ha! Don't care. Pull them pillars down. All right, now we're gonna do load the ark. Noah had a big ark and a lot of animals to fill it. So let's swing those arms. Come on, get those animals. Here we go, let's go. Next one, this one's called a lot of salt. This is a stop and go motion, so try to keep up. So we're gonna run in place, quick, 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 stop, turn around, pause, freeze, do it again. Run, 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 quick, 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 stop, turn around, freeze. The next exercise we're doing is called the Moses. Ready? Let's go. You're gonna take off your sandals, throw them away, and don't touch the fire. Don't touch it, don't touch it. It's hot, it's hot. Don't touch the fire. Don't touch it, don't touch it. Oh, someone's calling. Who could that be? TJ!
Carl,
Y'all remember TJ? How's it going?
pretty good, man. Just calling to check up on you, see how you're doing. Are you sweating?
Whew. Yeah, we're actually in the middle of a workout.
Workout, huh? Okay. Carl, you look exhausted. You good, buddy?
Yeah, I am. I usually only run if chickens are chasing me.
Okay. Carl, maybe get some water. It looks like you might be overdoing it.
No, I'll be okay. It's really hot.
I don't know, Carl. It looks like you might... Carl? Carl?
The fish are fighting back.
Carly, are you okay?
Oh, I think so. Oh, I feel weird though.
Bruh, I think you overworked yourself. Your body's just a little weak, man.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
Oh no, my body is shutting down.
No. That's not what I meant.
I heard you, TJ. I'm weak. I'm failing. I'm doomed.
Carl, no, man, it's okay. Like, people's body gets worn out all the time. It doesn't mean that you're doomed.
What about God though?
What do you mean?
Well, I've been reading the Bible a lot lately, and God gives a lot of people big jobs. And if I'm weak, I won't be able to handle it.
Listen, Carl, I don't think you'll have a problem.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Nah, I think you're good. I mean, if God can use Moses in his weakest moments, I'm pretty sure he can use you too.
Really? What makes you say that?
Well, think about the time that Moses saw God at the burning bush.
Yeah, the bush was on fire, but the fire wasn't going out. God was speaking through it, right?
Yep, God speaks to us through many ways, but this time it was through a burning bush.
That's so cool.
It really was. So God told Moses to take off his sandals, and he began to tell Moses a plan.
A plan just for Moses? That's awesome.
Basically, bruh. So God saw the Israelites suffering in Egypt, and the person who would help them would be
Moses?
You are exactly right, man. But Moses didn't see himself as a helper. Moses felt nervous, and he didn't see himself as the person for the job.
But God is asking him to do it. And if God is calling us to help others, we should listen, right? Even if we're nervous or weak.
Absolutely. So God assured Moses that the people of Egypt would know God sent him, and that Moses would have proof of it.
That is so cool. So did Moses listen?
He did. He knew God was telling the truth, and he knew that God would help him follow the plan to help free the Israelites.
Well, I feel great knowing that.
Why?
Well, Moses was feeling weak, but God gave him the confidence and direction he needed to go out and do what he needed to do. How cool is it that God helps us in our weakness?
Right? And how much more cool is that you said our big idea? Today, our big idea is God helps us in our weakness.
So we're going to say it out loud and on the count of 3. 1,
2,
3. God helps us in our weakness. God sure does. All right.
Yeah.
I'm glad we talked about Moses. That gave me the pep talk I needed.
So Carl, you're gonna take a much needed rest now, right, man?
No way, Jose. Round 2. Let's get up. This one's called The Rooster's Calling. Watch out, Peter. We're gonna burn some calories.
Goodness. All right, kids. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you for watching, and tune in next week for a new episode of Road TV.
Howdy, friends. What's up? I'm working on this awesome picture that I think will be my best portrait ever. I'm trying to get better because there's a cool festival that I want to submit this at. A comment already? This comment comes from Jade. Hey, Callie. I need your help. My help? I'll try, Jade. I really have an issue with telling the truth. That means Jade sometimes tells a lie, and she shouldn't. Please help. Wow, Jade, I kind of feel you on that one. I sometimes don't tell the truth on my own self. I don't know why. Can any of you help? Do any of you have problems with telling the truth sometimes? I spoke to my Uncle Chuck earlier, and he said that's a type of weakness. We all have weaknesses. He told me this Bible story. Let me tell you.
It's time for our Bible story. Last week we left off with Moses, the baby that was saved living with Pharaoh's daughter. He was living a great life being raised by the daughter of Pharaoh, but he had no idea where he came from. So one day he made a huge mistake and got into a fight with some guys. He ran away from Egypt because he thought he would get into trouble, and started a brand new life with a new job. One day, while he was working, he saw something rather strange in the distance. He saw a bush on fire, but the bush wasn't burning up. Moses came closer to the bush because, he had to make sense of it. Then the bush started to talk to him. It was God in the bush talking to Moses. Moses took off his sandals to show respect to God. God had a very important job for Moses. God wanted Moses to return to Egypt and help his people, the Israelites, get out. Moses felt that God should pick someone better for the job. God, of course, knew better. Yes, Moses felt weak and not prepared to go back to Egypt, but God was going to help him. God said Moses could take his brother, Aaron, to help him speak. God was going to use the staff and other things to show everyone that Moses worked for God. Now Moses was ready to go to Egypt to rescue the people of Israel from Pharaoh.
Isn't that amazing? God called and helped Moses. I wonder what other weaknesses I have.
Callie, can I borrow your paintbrush?
No, it's mine. That's my little brother friend's.
Please?
I said no. Wait. I do think I could be a little selfish with my toys and things. But I mean, it is mine. But there it is. A chance for me to notice my weakness and ask God for help. Jesus, I can use your help. It's not easy for me to share, but I care about my brother and I want to be kind to him. Help me to learn how to be generous. Amen. God helps us in our weakness. Hey, you can borrow my paintbrush. I'll bring it to your room when I'm finished with my friends.
Really?
Yes, really. All right, I gotta run.